Hey everyone, it's Cover Up here. Welcome to another weekend operation recap video from the belly of Task Force Spearhead. Once again, we are going to go over the op board first, try to give you an understanding of what you're about to see. So Task Force Spearhead has successfully moved through and established a presence roughly 10 kilometers north of the main FOB. We've successfully located the base of operations for the Shura-e-Naza cell to the northeast, created forward operation positions, and eliminated roughly a company's worth of Mujahideen fighters. In our efforts, we've lost some troops, but our forces remain in fighting condition. Our informants network has been invaluable and is assisting us in locating key leaders and communication routes. Spearhead was unsuccessful in eliminating the head of the Jamiat-e-Islami cell, albeit we are developing infiltration plans that may allow us to create disorder among the Mujahideen. The task force has the initiative, and current enemy strengths do not look to be enough to change this. The Mujahideen as a whole in the area have a mutual relationship. There are no current divides in leadership or subordinate elements. However, considering current losses of ground head by the Jamiat-e-Islami cell, we can only assume word is getting out of the weakness in command. The enemy forces do have mobile anti-air units. ZSUs have been found in the area and have proven to be effective. We are yet to confirm an armor depot as well as the unknown powerful weapon. Enemy communications have proven to be their center of gravity, being that they are able to blend in with the population and coordinate their forces. Currently, we're seeing IDF capabilities enter the AO. The elevation differences and knowledge of the land are a critical weakness for the task force. Our informants have located a network of caves to our north being used by the Shura-e-Naza cell as well as the Jamiat-e-Islami cell. We are also aware of an impending assault on the DRAAF FOB to the north to be carried out by the Jamiat-e-Islami cell. Additionally, Spearhead has been made aware of a possible Shura-e-Naza stronghold in the area. On November 19th, Task Force Spearhead will assist the DRAAF in defending their FOB, assault the enemy cave system, and infiltrate the Shura-e-Naza cell. At the request of the task force, I'm going to go through some of the battle plan to better orient you to the area of operation. To begin, Viking is going to insert into the northernmost area of operation near Objective Appeal in disguise with the intent of infiltrating the enemy terrorist cell. Chieftain and a portion of Reaper forces will be performing an air assault onto HLZ Retort. From there, they will secure the many cave systems lining the mountainside. The remainder of Reaper forces are pushing in an Anvil asset on the west side of the AO to assist in the defense of Objective Appeal. Alright, well that's going to be the end of the intro of this video. It's already gone on way too long. Of course, you'll hear me talk throughout the rest of the video, but I hope you guys enjoy. Reminder that you can always join us over at Task Force Spearhead, and the information is in the description below, and hopefully we'll see you there. Thanks. Viking was the first unit to leave the wire today. They were eager to get out to their battle space as it was the most far away. This way they could locate their battle horses.
Who got in my chair?
As always, there's a lot of action going on inside of the base as we're prepping for any operation. You can see MI8's landing to pick up infantry on the runway. Of course, we have an Su-25 Frogfoot taking off as well to give cast support in the air.
These are the Mujahideen.
Here you can actually see aviation doing a few airstrikes in and around Objective Bale, which is the first enemy-held cave system. Since the friendly forces are going to be landing in an MI8 almost on top of it, they want to ensure that the landing zone is clear prior to pushing those forces in. You can probably also hear the commanding officer of the unit yelling for Anvil over the radio. We were having some difficulties with the long-range radios all night, whether it was due to terrain or just the mod having issues, we're not sure, but of course led to some issues later down the line. And here, of course, is the ill-fated Anvil team. We'll see why they're ill-fated a little bit later down the line.
All con be advised, 2 times vehicles leaving the wire.
There's Nelson.
Thankfully, Viking was able to find their battle horses in the area of operations, and should help them get to their objective a little quicker.
There isn't a ping, it's fine. Alright. Horse column on me, C-pace.
Without it, we have the strength of 1,000 men.
That's good.
I would like 1,000 men.
Reaper, all gambler call signs are on 32-8 for communication.
What about what?
Saying how you like 1,000 men and...
Yeah, what was the part after that?
Oh, it's talking about being alcoholic.
Oh.
No, I said it was the title of your sex tape.
Oh, yeah.
While I was enjoying Viking's conversation, Anvil had managed to get themselves into a little bit of a sticky situation when their vehicle drove literally on top of an 18 mine.
Hey, what's the hold up here? Yeah, no, we're pushing through. You have no blinds to your direct front. Go forward. Do not turn the wheels. Just go forward. Alright.
There was an attempt to navigate the truck through the minefield as well, but yeah.
Alright.
Good. Number.
Their armor did come back to pick them back up, so they hopped back on and happily made their way out of there. So there are a few things that I could say about this helicopter assault. The MI8 really struggled to climb the terrain once they were getting close to the HLZ. They began taking fire from the mouth of the actual cave itself, and so they opted to drop off the task force from a height, which I don't know how many people got hurt here, but you can see at least one guy's knocked out down there. A few others. Looks like they dropped from a pretty significant distance as well. Now the task force does a great job at immediately putting suppressing fire up onto the enemy up here on the mouth of the cave, but again the insertion definitely could have gone a little bit better. Here is Viking again intermingling with the enemy on top of the hill, just observing the FOB assault that the enemy is coordinating down below. So this is a pretty fateful moment for both Anvil and Gambler. They come into contact here on the side of the road, which ends up disabling Gambler. The ZSU pops out and begins engaging, basically taking them out of the fight. You'll see here in just a minute that Hind actually ends up landing inside of the friendly held FOB. So they punctured the fuel tank on the vehicle, and they ended up doing an emergency landing, as well as this vehicle right here, the Anvil asset, being disabled in the middle of the road. They attempt to use the gun to help defend, but don't see the enemy that are already super close to their position, and one by one, each one of them begins to unfortunately get picked off by the enemy. Here you can see 82nd getting their mountaineering badges tonight. We really struggled to find the entrance to these cave systems, and we had a lot of guys spread out along the entire fortification because it was so difficult to find those entrances.
Is it going down? I don't think so. Oh, it hit its tail rudder. Can I shoot at it?
So our Hind ends up crashing inside of the DRAAF fob that Anvil was tasked with defending. Now that Anvil's not coming, these two pilots are the only players inside the fob that can help with defending, and they do a great job, and it ends up becoming a great war story. Back at the Anvil position, the tankers have gotten out of their vehicle to attempt to help the dismounted infantry who just so recently became casualties. I was so busy watching the fob defense over there that I neglected to watch the assault on the first cave. So here's a quick look through just so you can see what it looked like. And there's a few enemy forces left on the inside, but it looks like everyone did a good job clearing it up once the entrance is found.
Back at base, ready to push out. Good copy.
Fucking 2 fucking frames. Someone else take over. I got 2 fucking frames. I can't do a fucking thing. I need a medic.
Is this I'm right here. Skills,
no?
push back. Get
Copy, copy.
Unfortunately, the situation with the Anvil team was getting worse, and Goblin did a good job on trying to get his battle buddy to cover and give him first aid, but it ended up being in vain. A gambler unit was dispatched to try and find the tanker team, but unfortunately was flying just a little bit too low and caught the broadside of an RPG. The pilot did end up surviving, but unfortunately did become another casualty down the line.
Go for Chieftain. You good to move yet?
If everyone can put an F in chat for our tankers here, this is also a good reminder of why we shouldn't be doing medical without security.
Reaper, Spearhead.
At this point, since the Task Force QRF to the DRAAF fob was eliminated, the enemy felt emboldened and unfortunately was able to push masses of their forces onto the fob, ending up in securing it. At this point, Viking had decided to move off of their observation point and start heading down to where they had just seen the Anvil team get eliminated.
Bipod on the back of the horse's head.
The pilot that was shot down in the Mi-8 earlier was actually spotted by the task force and seen doing first aid, but unfortunately no one was dispatched to gather him, and on his way to try to push over to the fob to what he thought were the closest, friendliest forces, he came into contact with the enemy.
Go for Chieftain. I'm not seeing you. Where are you at?
We are to the south of the rock face now.
Okay, good copy. The entryway is going to be basically on the west side of it. Just be careful coming up. I do see some really good machine gun there spot.
He basically crawls through this rock in a hard place for another 10 or so minutes until finally something gets him or he succumbs to his wounds. Back up on the mountainside, Reaper has been tasked with pushing onto the entrance of the second cave system, and here they are getting into contact with the enemy just outside. A+ to this Reaper fire team for their movement onto contact and violence of action on this objective.
Chief needs to clear our contact pushing north.
Okay, firm. Hold that entrance for a second. Let's clear. Keep the rest of us clear. Hugh, hold that.
Throw grenades. Throw a grenade in there.
Alright, we're clear on the hilltop.
Chieftain, sit rep.
Catch this back up where you're moving now.
Okay, good copy. We're starting to push into the objective currently. Once you get up here, we might have to retask. Looks like the fob is getting overrun.
Reaper 6, Archimedes 6, do you want Archimedes to push up and attach with you for clearing this?
Yeah, there's a Reaper element still by the door if you want to catch up with him.
So copy, I'm en route.
Left for a second. Left is
Reaper
clear.
Archimedes is almost to you.
Two down left. How the rest of the friendlies push in.
Chieftain, be advised, I just engaged one-time infantry outside of the cave.
Over there on the left.
I know we've been hovering on this clip for a little while, but that's because I want to give
If
you
a Marine, go ahead,
context
security
onto one of the
outside of
better Arma deaths I've seen in a hot
Yeah, good
minute
copy.
here.
I'm stand by the entrance.
Pushing left.
Good night, Sarge.
Holy shit.
Five's in contact. Stand by. Behind you.
The task force had done a good job at moving through the second cave system and were well on their way to the third and final cave system on top of the mountain. However, the two pilots who were still at the fob were slowly but surely beginning to become overrun. Chieftain does a great job at using fire maneuver tactics here. You can also see Viking over there on the right side of your screen on their horses making their way over to Objective Warrant, where their meeting with the terrorist
Go
cell
for Chieftain.
is going to be taking place.
Looks like the entrance is near the middle of the rock face here. It's almost like a V leading into the center of the entrance.
Grenade in there, get back.
I mean, that's a fair idea, so.
Oh my god.
Be advised, guys, we're getting IDF at the last objective.
IDF, let's push it. Let's push in. Just be safe.
Pushed in now.
Be advised, Steel Rain is
Spear 6, be advised, pushing cave now.
Good copy.
Sandman goes first. Everyone stop. Everyone stop. Sandman or Anton go first.
Alright.
Space enough for that. Keep a good bit of space.
Cover us.
Bomb goes off.
Keep us
I don't want
covered.
to fucking
Yo,
die.
Anton, slow down, Anton.
Keep us covered from behind.
Like slow down, go to a slower walking speed. Okay, fine. I just don't want to sit in a trip mine and causing a fucking mass gas in here. But we had that happen last time. Alright, I'm gonna cover your left.
Trust you not to do that. I got you. Stick out.
You have turned them on, right?
And in here, we're narrow enough that Anton will pick it up. Okay. I'm gonna go right.
You're at 6 steel ready.
Frag left. What are we doing? Psychos?
Okay. I want 2 guys.
Pushing right.
Madman.
Let's go.
Move.
Hold.
Oh,
Let me get it out.
Never mind. A lot of people.
Frag going down, frag going down.
Frag going down.
Hold here. Hold here.
Skills, hold up.
Steel rain, Spirit 6 on 30, TAC 8.
Looks good.
Spirit 6, steel rain. How copy? Radio check.
Oh, no.
Smirky, go low.
Robin's, hang on. Let me get out of here.
What?
Contact front.
He's down.
Yo, you're Smirky.
Team and checking out their side now.
Good copy, Chieftain.
Good shot. Left.
Fire onto any enemy in the fob, that'd be great. Chieftain, station on the east side, let me know when you're set up so we can start observing for any enemy.
Hey, for removing east.
The pilots really did their damnedest to defend this fob, but at some point they just had to give in. Storm went down right in front of an exposed area, and Roof really put his life on the line to try to protect his pilot at arms. And unfortunately, it ended up leading to both of their deaths.
As soon as we get some engagements over here on the east side.
Good copy. We have a few blocks left between the two of us, but not much left.
Chieftain, do be advised, everything to the east, don't kill anybody to the east. We're just shooting at them.
Hey, from do not kill, just shoot at.
Good copy.
At some point, a GM who felt bad for Roofrat to try to help him out a little bit, but same thing, wasn't much he could do.
I think I have eyes on Viking. Reaper, you good over there? Looks like we're getting IDS.
Reaper, Spearhead, Archimedes, speed by, just white phosphorus.
Good copy. Reaper, you good over there?
Now that the fob was taken by the enemy, it was time to take it back.
Were they friendly? Another BTR on the far corner.
Both Reaper and Chieftain begin pushing down the hill. The intent is to have Chieftain as a support by fire on top of the hill, while Reaper uses the defilade to push down and then enter the fob using some of the buildings nearby.
Yeah, hit it now.
Not you guys.
Triple time.
We should probably push into these rocks. Push into the rocks, guys. Double time.
Troops in contact, we're going to start engaging.
Reaper, you're good to pick up your base. Already done.
Almost immediately you can see the effects of Chieftain's fire. It pulls the enemy fire off of the team that was beginning to move down the hill, and now they have an open chance push a little bit farther into the defilade and down into the fog. Chieftain began receiving heavy fire at their support by fire position, and once they were ordered to move, lifting that support by fire position, this gave the enemy a chance to retaliate and unfortunately caused several casualties on the hillside.
Chieftain, you okay? You got a lot of guys in there. Breaching. Copy, breaching. Chieftain, push down into these buildings at the bottom of the hill.
I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Basically, Reaper does end up pushing through the rest of the fob and does a great job of doing it. Once all the enemy are killed, everyone regroups and we do a big old debrief there at the fob. Here's a quick clip of one of our guys figuring out he has super speed, seeing how fast he can do a lap. Thanks again for watching. Reminder, information on how to join is in the description below.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's what happens if you're switching someone to walk away from you.
And
Might
I'm
have this.
back.
Put your gun away. Put your gun away. This